Today, we're going to talk about mastering the modern email. So writing a clear and professional and impactful digital correspondence. So not only do we have to watch how we communicate verbally, it's very important to be careful with our written communication as well. There's a high cost of a bad email. Did you know that people receive like 120 emails a day? And through these notifications, a poorly communicated message isn't just annoying, but it could get ignored or misunderstood. So clarity really matters. It's important to be efficient when we send an email to reduce the need for back and forth. You have to be professional because it builds your reputation and competence as a communicator. And it ensures that your requests are actually met. Imagine sending an email saying, we have a meeting, and everyone's replying back. What time? Where? What are we discussing? Or they don't know exactly what you're asking. So it's very important to have all the details and to be concise. A subject line is like the foundation of an email. Just by looking at all my subject lines, I may notice that this one I need to pay attention to right away. So the subject line is like your first impression. Keep it action-oriented and specific, so the reader knows the requirement immediately. A weak or bad subject line is just writing meeting. It's better if you say the request is a project update on October 12th. And an even better or stronger subject line is to put urgent IT access for new hire. Right away, they know that this is urgent, so I have to skip to that email, and it's something that is required right away. The tone varies by person to person, whether you're talking to a coworker, a friend, your supervisor, an external stakeholder. So the relationship that you have with the recipient, which is the person receiving the email, determines your tone. Choosing the wrong tone could make you seem either like a robot or even disrespectful. So be careful of the tone. Avoid using all capitals or excessive exclamation points. This can come across as aggressive or unprofessional. So which of these is the best subject line? You guessed it, request, time off, Friday, November 3rd. It's specific. It's not supposed to be a question. It's not just a vacation request. Just by looking, the supervisor knows that it's happening on Friday, which means it's either urgent or not urgent. You should always watch your opening language, so how you start your email. You want to state your purpose immediately in order to respect the reader's time. It should have either a purpose-driven, there's a reason, like I'm writing regarding the conference, or it might be context-driven, related to something previous. For example, following our meeting, I wanted to, or it could be inquiry-based. You're asking about something, so I am writing to clarify the details of. So there's a reason that you should state immediately. Sorry. You can use modals, which are could and would, to soften your tone and make the request feel more polite rather than a demand. For example, if you say, send me the report now, it sounds a bit rude and direct. A more polite way to say it is using the word could. Could you please send me the report by 3 p.m.? So it's more polite and it has a specific time. If you want to be more formal, you could say, I would appreciate if you could provide the report by 3 p.m., for example. Here's some professional words that you could use. For example, confirm. Use this instead of saying yes to finalize details. You could say, I would like to confirm that I will be attending the meeting on Friday. Clarify. Instead of saying, could you explain more? You could say, could you clarify the location of the meeting for me, please? Or could you clarify line 6 of our agenda, item 6? And follow-up is to check the status of a request. So you're following up to see if they completed the meeting minutes or something that you need to check up on. Just some vocabulary here, just to review. Request is the act of politely asking for something. Clarify is to make a statement or situation less confused. You're asking questions. Confirm is to establish the truth or correctness of something. And attach is to join or fasten to an email. So you're adding an attachment, which could be the meeting minutes or the report that we discussed. Emails should have a structure. So you want to keep it concise. It doesn't need to be more than 3 short paragraphs, because then it's considered like a letter, or you could have just called them with these, or a meeting. But it should be more concise, and you could consider using bullet points. You start with the opening, which is your greeting and your purpose statement. You should have in the body the key details, or even the bullet points, and the closing, which might be a call to action and a sign. Again, we talked about softening your tone. So because the reader can't see your facial expression, they can't see your body language. So if you're too brief, it might sound angry or possibly rude. So you could use I statements and appreciation to soften the impact of bad news or correction. The way we communicate with others and ourselves ultimately determines the quality of our lives. Said by Tony Robbins. It's a nice quote. So evaluate your tone. Can we say in all caps, do not forget the meeting? Is this an effective way to show the importance? I would say not, because all caps, it will ensure that they see it, but it's considered shouting and it's unprofessional. So you want to use a more polite reminder instead. So imagine you're writing an email to a professor and you want to ask for an extension on your assignment because you have been unwell. How do you open the email? What modal verbs would you use to remain polite? You could say, "Dear Professor, I'm writing to request a 2-day extension for my upcoming assignment. Would it be possible to submit this Wednesday instead? I can provide documentation if needed. Thank you for your time. Best regards." So it has a nice, clear request. It has a nice closing, and it's polite. And they've used the modal verb would in order to ask it more politely. So before you hit send, just remember, clear is kind. Make sure your email is structured, professional, and polite. When you do this, you're respecting the person's time and building a stronger work relationship.